Good day, wonderful skiers. In this video we got some exciting news. What's going on in the new Carv app? There's been a huge overhaul, so get started. Get out of here. I am so sleepy in my brain. I slept a few hours. Then talking is very hard. They made a huge overhaul and made it perhaps better. Let's get started. I'll ski off. Shit.
Carving training selected. Let's focus on dialing up the G-force.
A little disclaimer, many of our videos here on the channel has been sponsored by Carv and will be in the future. But I am also a big buyer of them. I spent over $10,000 because I buy them to use with our ski technique camps for adults. So I'm not going to be too soft on them. Let's get started. So the big news coming for this season is that Carv is moving away from just looking at metrics. For example, like how high edge angles you're getting and only coaching that. Instead of trying to look at skills in each discipline of skiing, from parallel skidded turns to carving, powder, short turns, moguls, etc. And these skills could be something like, on carving, turning without skidding. A banger skill that you absolutely gotta nail in order to carve your turns. Or starting your turns with grip, skiing dynamically, smoothly linking turns, getting low to the snow, or my favorite, dialing up the G-force. If you click on it, you get a nice little quote from Ted Ligety, a nice little video that's built like a story similar to last year that kind of explains some of the ideas. And then you can expand the level 28 targets. For me, it's like more than 2.4 G, 74 degrees, and a pretty steep slope of 23 degrees. And I can watch some drills below on how to do it. But in general, I love the idea of using skills instead of metrics like edge angle, edge similarity, etc. The skills makes more sense as it's basically the way a normal ski instructor would work. Most beautiful ridge in all of Hintertux. I'm missing the target on every turn. It's just... Oh, now it down-regulated my difficulty so I could actually hit some targets because I get some of the kind of difficult type of ridge. So we got some happy chimes. Boom, boom, boom. As far as the user interface or like the design of the app, there isn't that much that has changed. Rory. He's trying to make me look like a Teletubby. I don't want to. That's what I watch with my kids. The user interface, for you already been using Carv, looks quite similar to the past. With the home screen showing your runs for the season, the coaching shows the skills, and you can swipe left and right on the top between parallel turns to moguls, etc. The ski screen is quite similar, community as well. For our ski geeks, to find the deep data, you just gotta go to the home screen, go to your run that you like, and then click on that one, and then you just swipe down a little bit, click on view details, and there you can see your turn portion carving, turn shape, early edging, etc. And if you open those ones up, go to turn analysis, you can see those beautiful carved turns, just like before. So, if we click on track, we get our modes up. Where's the screen? Editor. All right, there we go. So we've got track, learn, and train, depending on how much feedback you want to get. If you start with track, you can mute everything, hear nothing if you want to. Perfect when you're skiing with friends. And train is serious. If you click this one, it's going to choose your weakest skill and train you on that one. Or you can choose your own. Something I'm happy about is that they brought back what they call legacy mode, where you can do some fun challenges like ski with an Olympian, or my favorite, the short turns challenge. Let's go and do some. steeper terrain to up my SkiIQ on my short turns. Here's a little bit steeper, but not particularly steep. And we need G-forces to supercharge it. So let's get a bit more speed in.
Short turns training selected. Let's focus on rebounding between turns. In this skill, we will practice harnessing the pressure release from the old turn to rebound you into the next one.
I got so much rebound quite often in the air. It's maybe not the cleanest. I need smoother release of pressure without getting too backseated so only out. Woo! Woo! That was exciting. SkiIQ. I'm like, some say I'm here we can make a joke, the Einstein of skiing.
No one says.
And then you shout, no they don't, they call you the Bob Ross of skiing. Well, they both have great hairstyle. Roland? You know, some people call me like the Einstein of skiing. Let's do that again, felt unauthentic. Do you know that they call me the Einstein of skiing? I'm getting better at jokes. I made a tacky joke about Einstein and Bob Ross now. Look at that happy cloud over there. Ah. Oh, look at that. Cute lake down there.
Let's build a happy little cloud. Let's build some happy little trees.
Einstein, Bob Ross, and Donald Duck. What are their ski IQs?
Oh, I think it's in the opposite of IQ actually. With Einstein at 120, Bob Ross, he's like a bit sporty guy, artistic, 150s. Donald Duck, 165. Yeah.
So he's better than you?
Yeah. Obviously, he's a duck. The big news with SkiIQ is that there are now multiple types of SkiIQ depending on what type of turn you're doing. You got one for parallel skidded turns, short turns, carving, moguls, and powder skiing, where it's gonna value different metrics in your skiing differently for what's important. For example, when you're carving, high edge angles is important, while when doing skidded parallel turns, it's not as important. Makes sense, right? So I got the Carv data scientist drunk at the airport yesterday, and I stole this top secret document on how to hack SkiIQ. It's become quite a thing to get high SkiIQ. To get high on your skidded parallel turns, you need to get 3 high edge angles on steep terrain with a transition weight release. So you either stand up tall or do a cross under where you suck up the legs so your feet are light to really boost that score. To hack your carving SkiIQ, you gotta close the turns. So you go from say 1 o'clock to 5 or even pushing towards 6 o'clock on steep terrain. And to really turbocharge your SkiIQ, do it with sick G-forces. So to hack your SkiIQ on the short turns, you need to have strong technique. So edge similarity and edging in the and then that you turn them to edging them similarly and turn them together in unison and turbocharge it with high G forces. How was that talk for you? Damn it! Boom. And the top secret tip I've stolen from the Carv lab for Mogul SkiIQ is to ski with higher tempo without crashing. Dead simple, right? Get a feeling for the conditions.
In moguls, try to use more of a range in your flexion and extension to absorb the bumps. Exaggerate these movements more than you think you should.
Oh, they're pretty good, the Moguls, actually. Hello, what are you doing there? This must be better than level 1. Ooh. Ooh. The Gooood. First up, I love that we now got 5 SkiIQs, and I got this cool new spiderweb diagram, I think it's called, and it shows you if you're a good overall skier. I love this because I think it's gonna inspire people to get better at skiing across the board. And I think that's gonna spark a lot of joy with thousands of skiers. Another thing I dig is the today's tips. So inside the coaching, you can actually scroll through all the audio cues you've been getting throughout the day. So for me as a ski instructor and a student of life, I guess, you know, I can read through it and it's like, oh yeah, that word in there, that makes sense. Or, oh, I'm gonna steal that one from my own teaching. I think that's real neat. I appreciate the numerous coaching modes you can have now, from simply tracking and hearing nothing if you want to getting quite intense about how much feedback you're gonna get through it. And it's up to you to choose. And I also dig how they brought back the legacy modes, like Fast Turns Challenge, Ski with an Olympian, those things. I think it's just cool to have more options to challenge yourself, so it stays interesting. Lastly, and the biggest news, is the skills. I think the skills make so much sense. It is way more like how we ski instructors actually teach skiing. We don't just teach edge angle, you know, it's interlinked, and it uses data, brings it into skill. I think that makes sense. And I also discovered that when you go into the skills, it gets pretty hard when you're approaching, you know, the high 20s. And, you know, you can expand it and see exactly how high edge angles you need, how steep the pitch got to be, for example, to reach the next level. And now when I look at some of mine, oh, that is hard. I need to go to a different ski resort. It is too flat here at this time of the year. The so-so. When you're in a training mode and training a skill, it first measures like what the conditions are and how you're skiing on it, and then it finds you the appropriate level. And then, you know, I'm maybe at level 27, it might bring me back to like level 15, and then I only got to hit the targets of that. And I think this is annoying. I want to keep fighting at the level 27, the best of the best short turns I've ever been making, for example, and push them up. I like to be able to choose that. I asked the Carv guys if they were gonna make that happen. They said, no, I don't know, maybe they will make a masochist mode. For people like me that don't mind hearing, not good enough, keep pushing harder. But I could see how that could be gutting after a while if you do it too much. Skills, explainers and drills. I find it a great concept. It starts with a story where you watch for like 30 seconds maybe, a key concept. Say carving, how you incline first, then angulate, and has some little text there. Then you can swipe sideways through a couple of drills. Here I found right now, they've been a little bit lazy with the drills. So they say the skill is to get low, and for that you need to incline and angulate. But then the drills, they were only teaching stuff that makes you better at angulating basically, or getting better with the lower joints while you need to do both. Also here, I would love to see a larger number of drills that gets way more advanced as they move forward. I passed on this information to Carv, and I think an improvement will be coming soon. The bad. Can you draw me like one of your French girls? Powder SkiIQ is the least accurate so far, so that's kind of bad. They've been struggling to get enough powder skiers to send in videos of them skiing, and then have them ranked by ski instructors, and then use that information to train the algorithm. So far, it's a bit inaccurate, the powder SkiIQ. But I'm sure it's going to get better with time as they get more data to train it on. Another thing I find a little bit annoying now with the skills change. So they lifted the skills up and made it easier to find, but moved the old data that some of us grew to love a layer deeper down. So you got to do a few more clicks to navigate to the metrics for edge similarity and so on, and looking at your turn shapes, etc. It requires a little bit more clicking, but the good news is it's still there. Expert level feedback, or maybe call me elite, I don't know, I don't want to call myself that. But I think the feedback I've been fed, like coaching cues, are still a bit weak. I think it's a improvement from the past, because at least I get some feedback like ski steeper terrain, or like do this thing and then ski steeper. And I'm like, yes, I know. I need terrain, which is in some ways the best teacher, to make it more challenging for me on both my short turns and long turns. I need steeper runs than what I can find here in November. It can't see the upper body. This is the biggest bad thing with Carv, because you can do everything right with your feet and do things pretty wonky and weird with the upper body, and you can't see that right now. And I think that with the skills mode, it's gonna still improve people's like upper body and what they're doing, but I'd like to see some improvements here. I don't know quite how they would do it, but I got some ideas. More on them later. And here's what I want to see in the future. All I want for Christmas is improved audio coaching feedback for expert skiers at the right time. Number one, improved audio coaching feedback for the right skier at the right time. I often find, for me, I'm not quite the target audience. I'm a little bit too good for this. But as it's getting, no, I'm not too good for it, not anymore. Never really been, actually. I'm not that good. Still gotta beat Josh. I find it often too vague, generic, and I feel like it's not always happening at the right time, especially at my level of skiing. But I must say it has improved already, but I want to see even bigger improvement. And one way I'd like them to improve it is to be more specific. For example, I suspect with their awesome data, they could see that you're skidding the turns too quickly during the build phase or the top third phase of the turn. So they need to apply outside ski pressure a little bit sooner. That could be a cue. Or the skis are slipping out a little bit too much on the bottom third. So they should apply a little bit more heel pressure during the bottom third phase of the turn. For example, that would be awesome. And I hope they can make that happen soon. For the future, I want them to also pick up what's going on with the upper body. I have a feeling they could train the app. So if you connect the sensors and then have someone do video analysis on you, that it could maybe at first pick up on like how much are you angulating in a video analysis. Because to have a AI kind of learn to just find the zipper or midpoint of a jacket should be pretty simple, especially on a bright color jacket like mine. Well, if you like the sound of a Carv, get one if you want. Or consider joining one of our Ski Technique Camp straddles, where we actually use Carv in combination with level 4 ski instructors to make some pretty good skiers. Check out this video, it might be even better. See you in the next one.
You do a forward roll?
No.
You do a front flip?
Yeah. It was pretty firm, it's a glacier here.